Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. Oh, man, it's a glorious, glorious morning. Glorious August summer. How y'all like that heat wave? It's a heat wave coming on there. And you know we going to get it hot this morning. It's getting hot in here. So take off. Oh man, it's a heat wave, man. It's a heat wave. In DC, it's a heat wave. It's a Trump wave. Hey, we're going to do a Trump wave. We're going to do a Trump dance. But yeah, man, good morning, man. Good morning, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good glorious morning, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Another Monday, man. You know, top of the Monday. Top of the mid-morning. Top of the mid-morning. Mondays is one of the days, man. Top of the mid, because it's the top of the news cycle, baby. It's the top of the, you know they got a lot to say on the top of the mid-morning, man. They got a lot to say on the top of the mid-morning because it's the top of the news cycle, man. It's the top of the news cycle. So you know they got to start the week off. They got to start the week off with a round rhombus. You know what I'm saying? It's our usual suspects, man. It's the usual suspects, yeah. It's the usual suspects. But I'm telling you, man, we got a lot to talk about today. It's the usual. We got a lot to talk about today, man. We excited. We in the building. Yeah, man. We getting the live stream going up. Double tap, hit the like as you come in. Who gonna be the first in the chat? Shouting out the first person in the chat. Shout out the first person. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Mrs. AIT. Oh, what's up with your good morning? First in the chat, man. First in the chat, man. Number one, get it done. First in the chat, man. And she coming in with a good spirit, with the happy emojis. That's what I want to see. Show some love. Double tap the screen, miss. Double tap the screen, miss. Double tap, hit the like, share, subscribe, because you look new. I would remember that face, man. So if you look new, go ahead and double tap, hit the like, share, subscribe, man. Love. Liz, what's up with you, Liz? What's up, Liz? Liz came in and said, man, how you like that heat wave, Liz? What y'all doing with you? Got them summer dresses on, man? What's up with you, man? Hey, it was hot this weekend. We got a hot topic this morning. Triple digits in Northern California, but it was a heat wave. It was a heat wave. Come on, man. Come on in, man. Double tap. Hit the like, share, subscribe as you come into the podcast, man. My name is Perfect. Top of the mid-morning. Come on in, man. How'd you like that hot weather? As you come in, double tap the screen. Hit that like. We don't have enough likes, man. We need 100 likes on the... Look at all that love in the chat. Share some love with somebody in the chat, man. Say what's up to somebody in the chat. That's what we do here. We're going to have a debate. Some people going to agree. Some people going to disagree. It's okay to disagree. We can agree to disagree. Let's get it going this morning, everybody. Hey, brother. What's up, Nicholas? What's up, NS? Come on, man. Double tap, like, share, subscribe. We don't have enough likes. I need everybody to subscribe. Join the channel. As soon as you subscribe, they're going to ask you, do you want to join this channel? Well, guess what? We got a $2 membership for the heat wave. Summertime coming on down. $2 memberships, man. You can get customized emojis, brilliant badges, share the memberships with people. But let me go ahead and get this thing started, man. Back at it like a crack at it. Automatic like a foamatic, built from tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. Double tap that like. Double tap that like. Double tap that like. Y'all know what we do here, man. Every day, all day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, live stream. We got the shorts, the clips coming in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody having fun in the comments. You got to get over to my channel. You got to subscribe. That way, you got to get the shorts. You got to get the shorts. It's NSN, I'm in, I'm out. Well, thank you for coming in, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. On your way in, double tap. Penny Bet said hi. What's up, Penny? How you doing, Penny? Hit the like button, Penny. Hit the share and subscribe right now, Penny. On your way in, Texas Red, Johnny Cash or Elvis. I'm going Johnny Cash all day, man. That's not even a hard question, man. That's not even a hard question, man. That's not even a hard question. Hit the like, man. 30 people watching. I need more likes. I need 100 likes on the double, man. You are watching the Perfect Timing Top of the mid-morning podcast where we do Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving y'all the blues all day, every day, my way. That's what we do it, man. Come on, baby. Come on in the chat. Baby, come on. Baby, come on. And we got a podcast for you today. Yeah, we got a podcast for you today. And this topic, Trump today, Trump on. Look at the love. Somebody hitting the love. Somebody hitting the love. That's how you do it, baby. That's how you do it, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's how you do it, man. You double tap to hit the light. You double tap to show some love, man. That's what you do, man. Brandon, Young Fighters in the building. Brandon said hello. Young Fighter said, when we're a stronger bro at 25. When were you strongest, bro, at 25? No, just pay attention. Stay and watch. You see a strong individual here today. You know what I'm saying? And if you strong, go ahead and start up a live stream and do what I'm doing. If you as strong as me, go ahead and fire up a live stream and captivate the audience. You know what I'm saying? With the animal magnetism that is the Perfect Timing Podcast. Woo! We talking about a DC takeover. We talking about a heat wave. We talking about a DC takeover. Now, some people, it's only been 6 months into this beautiful big bill of a presidency. His name is Donald Trump. Did you vote for Donald Trump? I'm going to tell you, an overwhelming majority of people voted for Donald Trump. Yes, they did. They voted for Donald Trump because they did not trust the Democrats. Why did they not trust the Democrats? Well, what's going on in Washington, D.C.? The same thing that's going on in Los Angeles, in New York, in St. Louis, in Milwaukee, in Chicago, in all these Democratic ran cities. So we can tie this back into Texas. We can tie this back into Illinois. We're gonna have a good time and a good conversation here today. Oh man, I don't got my towel. Man, I don't got my towel. But so we can tie these Democratic. I've been talking about the reality and the real situation. Democratic policies. We talked about the Wall Street Journal poll and why the Democrats are polling so low. People think there is a misunderstanding because the Democratic social leading media wants to distract you from the actual truth. But I know the truth. You know the truth. You live in truth. You live in reality. Some of us live in DC. Some of us live in St. Louis. Come on now. Some of us live in St. Louis. Some of us live in Milwaukee. Some of us live in Chicago. Some of us actually live in these places. Some of us live in these democratic socialistic bastions where you could just get carjacked and then get released because you're a teenager and then carjack again. I read a story today as I did my research about St. Louis teenagers and the point system in St. Louis where they have to create a brand new law to say that if you get caught doing a crime with a weapon, you have to go to jail because in St. Louis, under democratic regime, this is not politics. This is not democracy. I've been talking to you for 2 weeks on how the Democrats do not do democracy. And it's becoming evident every day. But no, they want to distract you with race. Everything is not race. I am sorry. There are real kitchen table issues in America, and they can't be blamed on being black and being white. We got to talk about the reality of how the Democrats have used race to cause fear in order to create a regime, a theocracy, a monarchy. And you call Trump a king, but the real king has been working behind the scenes, and you can't go to St. Louis. St. Louis is a beautiful place. You can't go to Memphis. I always wanted to go to Memphis. You can't go to these democratic ran cities with these black female democratic mayors and these black female police chiefs, and you can't go there because it's not safe. So wait a minute. I thought if you made the mayor look like them and you made the police chief black and the mayor black, then why do we have all this crime? See, the underlying story of DC, the underlying story of Memphis, the underlying story of Atlanta and St. Louis is democratic policies. Democratic policies that allow that were brand new. This is what we got out of BLM protests. The thuggery on 100 miles per hour. We got super thugs instead of jobs, instead of job training programs, instead of therapy, instead of good health, mental health. What we got out of BLM is laws that said how are we going to address the problem is allow people to commit crime and watch democratic cities just deteriorate into places that people, they said some of democratic cities in America, they're comparing them to Haiti. The mayor of DC, a black woman, she was upset that they are comparing DC to third world. They said it's as dangerous as Baghdad. We don't need the comparison. We have family in Milwaukee. We have family in Chirac, Chicago. What do you want to call it this morning? Because Trump is president, do you want to call it Chirac today? Because it was Chirac, or is it Chicago today? Because you hate Trump. Maybe you don't want to call it what you was so proud to call it just 6 months ago. See, just 6 months ago, you were proud. You were very proud of all the murder and violence in your city. Today, you're surprised. Oh, surprise and shock. Why are you surprised? Why are you? I'm not surprised. You know why? Because I've been following the trends. You say foolery, I'm going to play a video for you because I've been watching DC for the past 2 years. I am a YouTuber and I am independent media, so I am not last on this story. A lot of the viewing public is last. See, they make you upset about what Donald Trump has done, but Donald Trump has been in office 6 months. The problem in DC did not occur in 6 months. It did not get to this level of out-of-handedness in 6 months. The same thing with the Ukraine, the same thing with inflation, the same thing with economy, the same thing with Israel, the same thing with Russia. It did not reach this level in 6 months. Can we have an honest talk this morning? Can we have an honest talk? As we talk about this, we are not going to talk about it in a bubble. We are not going to talk about it in a silo. See, there are going to be upset trolls in the chat who want to bring out talking points, but they don't bring out math and reality. That these problems, these existential geopolitical issues that we face in 2025 in August did not materialize in a matter of days and months. No, ma'am, no, sir. They did not. It took years. It took time. It took policy. It took democratic agenda and ideology to get us here. Years and years and years, and it didn't work. Can we be honest? See, we can be honest about the fact that Reaganomics doesn't work. Trickle-down economics doesn't work. You're mad at the big, beautiful bill because you see evidence that Reaganomics didn't work. Can we be honest that the democratic liberal policies in democratic cities are not working? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? See, you wouldn't need Trump to send in the National Guard if it worked. If young teenage men preferred to go to jail for free instead of a job. See, Democrats said, oh, let them steal and let them kill. Kill at will. That's the Democratic spiel. But how about a job for real? California lost Tesla. Can we have an honest talk this morning? I got 100 people watching and not 100 likes. I need to have an honest talk this morning about the results of Democratic policy on American youth and taxpayers, because policy results in actual quality of life. See, Democratic policy in California led to people being able to steal up to $1,000 in a supermarket. But wait a minute. Democratic policy said you can steal $1,000 in California, but Elon Musk is not comfortable to build a new Tesla plant to give those people who would steal a job. Give those people a job. Give those people a job. Give those people a job. We don't have enough likes. We need 100 likes on the double. 100 likes or we in trouble. Come on now. You know how to YouTube do. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you don't know how to like, I'm going to give you a lesson right now. Tony Harris, you need to read what the followers saying. Forget about Musk. I am doing my job. You do your job in the comments. Now check this out. Top right-hand corner, there are 3 dots. Those 3 dots are called an ellipsis. A lot of you may may not even know what an ellipsis is until this morning, but you see it an awful lot on YouTube right next to the video. Those three dots get you options, get you choices, something that the Democrats do not provide, something that the Democrats do not provide. Woo! He cooking them this morning. Is he cooking them? Flambe, flambe, flambe. He cooking them this morning. I am cooking, cooking, cooking. Those three dots are an ellipsis. Hit those three dots for me right now. When you hit those three dots, you're going to come up and you could dislike, you could like, you could do whatever you like. Do what you like. You see the do what you like. Come on, man. It's 1996 and we in the mix. Hey, my name is Perfect Timing Podcast. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you a member, you already know how we do. Brad Miles, I seen you here before, man. Name 2 songs from Nirvana. I could name your mama, and she could name me. Woo! I'm cooking like hot grease this morning. Trump today, DC takeover, the unfiltered truth. What is the unfiltered truth of the DC takeover? The unfiltered truth is that these problems did not materialize in a matter of days, in a matter of months. No, they did not. These problems have been here for years, and they have been allowed to exacerbate and grow malignant under the Democratic regime. And under Democratic policy, it's almost like throwing grease on a fire. And now, see, you got a grease fire. This is I'm cooking this morning. Thank you for that love. Whoever hit the double tap and hit the love, man. Show some love to somebody in the chat, man. Double tap, hit the like, hit the love, like, share, subscribe to my podcast with the blast. What we have on our hands in DC, in St. Louis, in these democratic cities, we have a grease fire. Yes, we do. What a great analogy. What a great analogy. And it just came to me naturally. What we have in these democratic, liberal ran cities with democratic policies that allow people to commit violent crimes and go free, that allow people to steal up to $1,000 and go free. What we have is a grease fire. Why was that given to me as a great analogy? Because a grease fire is a particular special type of fire. You can't put it out with water. Huh? Can we have an honest talk this morning? See, certain type of problems. See, Trump has been handed a list of unique problems. Certain type of problems are not readily solvable, which is why Kamala Harris and Waltz, the tampon daddy, did not win. You didn't trust Waltz and Kamala to deal with a grease fire because you didn't think she was smart enough, because she lied to you about the cognitive decline. You didn't trust Biden to deal with a grease fire because you didn't think he was smart enough. Can we have a real talk this morning? Because if you don't know how to deal with a grease fire, you could burn down the entire kitchen and burn down the house. That is America. Let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. See, I said, why do we have a two-party system? See, I said we have a grease fire, and a grease fire, if you do not know how to handle it, can burn down the entire house. I said we have a two-party system, Republicans and Democrats. Why do we have a two-party system? Well, we have a two-party system because this is the greatest country in the world. And the framers were running from a monarchy. See, a monarchy, the framers of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, the greatest piece of paper that ever was written in the world, the greatest country in the world, they were running from a monarchy. Mono rule, meaning one opinion. They did not want a monarchy. The framers of the Constitution, the greatest men who ever lived, the greatest country in the world, the framers of the Constitution didn't want a monarchy, so they came up with checks and balances. You have something called a Senate, a Congress. You have a president that checks all three, and don't forget about the SCOTUS. Don't forget about the SCOTUS. Who's the SCOTUS? I'll tell you about that later. My point to bring this up, they're going crazy in the chat. They're going crazy in the chat, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Clyde, how you doing, man? Mad Graphics, I seen you before, man. That's not 404. Is that Atlanta in the building? Freeman, Haifa, Morocco, B jogging. How Tony Harris, who is your president? Donald Trump is the president, baby. The exceptional black man. I promise I found your fathers had to be geniuses, straight up. Our founding fathers were geniuses. because they didn't want one opinion. They didn't want a monarchy or mono rule. This is why we have a two-party system. See, we have a two-party system to avoid mono. But see, the Democrats want to get violent. If you don't like the Democrats, they're going to burn up a Tesla. If you don't agree with the Democrats, they're going to burn up the whole city. If you don't agree with the Democrats, they're going to throw bricks. If you don't agree with the Democrats, they're going to loot. Is anybody listening? Does somebody disagree? Come on, put it in the chat. So we have a two-party system, so that we are not in a monarchy or one rule of thought. So you have a Democratic, or we say left wing and right wing, but two differences of opinion. So we never get caught up in a monarchy or one school of thinking. And they are supposed to debate. They are supposed to debate. They are supposed to come to the table with a difference of opinion. We had 100 likes 5 minutes ago. And the goal, listen to this. This is so important. This is why I took a time out to explain this to you. The goal of the two-party system is not to say, as a Democrat, I am right. That's not the goal, Jasmine Crockett. Can we have a talk, Jasmine Crockett, who told the Texas Democrats to leave the state, and who are getting paid to do a job even though they left the state, who took a private plane to leave their job? I can't leave my job on a private plane. Jasmine Crockett did an interview this morning in a beautiful hotel. Who's paying for that hotel, Jasmine Crockett? Do everybody understand that Jasmine Crockett, all the money she gets should come from a taxpayer job, just like somebody like a mailman? Does everybody understand that? All the money that Jasmine Crockett gets comes from a taxpayer job, just like a mailman. So where are all these millionaire Democrats coming from? Who paid for the private plane, Jasmine Crockett? Who paid for the hotel? See, we have a two-party system, not to say Jasmine Crockett is right, AOC is right. The goal of a two-party system is for the benefit of the House. It's not to say the Republicans are right or the Democrats are right. The goal is to come together with a difference of opinion for the benefit of the House. That's why it's called a House. It's to remind the individuals who work and live in the House, the goal of the House is never one over the other. The goal of the House is the outcome of the family. The better. This is why MAGA hits so hard. What is the Democrat rebuttal to MAGA? Make America great again. Make the House great again. The entire house, upstairs, downstairs, every bedroom, the kitchen. Make the house great again. Everyone who lives in the house. See, if you have a family, everyone in the house does not agree. This is the representation of kitchen table politics. See, everyone in the house does not agree, but we all have to live in the house, and we all are family. Despite our disagreements, we come together and we are able to adult, which means compartmentalize. Even though I may disagree with mom and dad or my brother on one issue, the paramount thing is the better of the family and the house. And the Democrats, from my argument, the Democrats over the past 15 years have said, screw that math. The Democrats have thrown pity parties. The Democrats have looted. The Democrats have broken windows. January 6th is what you may refer to with the Republicans one day, one afternoon. But please tell me, what do you have to compare what the Democrats have done to our country over the past 10 years? Taking down statues, burning up cities, creating laws. Remember what they did in Washington where they had what was it, Chaz? Y'all remember Chaz? Someone was hurt. This is what the result of Democratic policy is Chaz, where the Democrats is right and nobody else is right. What we need to focus on is the reality of what's going on in America. 44 likes, 100 people. Why we need more likes? We need more likes. Come on, man. We got to be honest about the truth about what's going on in America, because I did a story on Washington, D.C., during the last administration, and there was a black man who was the chief of police, and he came on TV and he said, I need help. I remember this because I'm a black man, and he's talking about DC. DC is what was called Chocolate City. Can we have a real talk? I'm going to be honest. As a black American, I'm going to be honest this morning if you be honest this morning. DC is what's known as Chocolate City. Just 2 years ago, under Brandon, the police chief in DC came out and said, I need help. I need help keeping DC safe. Does anybody remember that? I remember because I did a story on it because it touched my heart. It touched my heart because I always loved DC. I always loved Chocolate City. I love what DC meant to America. I love what DC meant to Black America, and it did not feel good when I saw that news report. Now, can we be honest? I just want us to be honest about what DC had become under Democratic mayor and Democratic leadership and Democratic policies. This is not about Black or white. It's not about racism. It's the truth. I know this morning to make news and to make people click and to make people like the video, you want to go to racism. It's not about racism. We've had a problem with crime and violence in District Columbia ever since Ronald Reagan and crack. But over the past few Democratic regimes, the crime in DC has gotten out of control again. And this is something that we already knew. I wanted to come to you this morning to say, why are the Democrats once again using fear to lie to you and trick you? I think the Democrats are using fear. I believe the Democrats are lying to you because you know the truth about DC. We all know the truth about DC. And I'm going to play a video of the DC chief asking for help under the last regime. Do y'all don't remember? Y'all don't remember the last regime where they were asking for help? Where is that? Oh man, I done misplaced my videos. Don't worry, I got it somewhere. But I got a bunch of videos that I looked at today, and this is about DC asking for help. DC asking for help over the years. Now, when I started my research this morning, I said to myself, what preceded Trump? And I remember it was that attack on the Doge employee. Does everybody remember? See, this is funny how the media creates a narrative and make you not understand the truth. Well, something happened in DC. There was a carjacking. Now listen to this. There is a point system where in St. Louis, they had teenagers do a carjack and then they got let out free. And then they carjacked the next day. So in DC, someone tried to take a woman's car and a young man tried to stop it and he got attacked. That is what preceded Trump's decision. It's not only that, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because it's not just the fact that the Doge employee was attacked. See, they're not telling you the whole story. The Doge employee suffered that because he was trying to stop a carjacking. And the carjackings have escalated in these democratic cities because of this point system that keeps criminals on the street and makes it unsafe in these democratic cities. Did you even know this? Did you even know this? That they are getting out of jail the very next day and committing the same heinous crime. How do you feel about a citizen? Think about the big, beautiful bill, the tax cuts going to the rich. Think about everything that's going on in America, in the world, geopolitically. How do you feel about a point system that allows criminals to be back on the street and makes American cities just like Baghdad or Haiti? Or cities in Jamaica in a third world country? Did you know that this point system, see, it may not exist in your Republican red state, but this is why Elon Musk and corporations are not building in democratic states. This is why Tesla went to Texas. See, instead of having Tesla with good jobs in California, we traded Tesla for democratic policy that allowed people to steal. Think about the logic of Gavin Newsom said I'm going to get 5 seats back. Gavin Newsom, get Tesla back. How about you get Tesla back, Gavin Newsom? We want Tesla. We want jobs. We want next generation, high-paying jobs. Semiconductor plants built in California. Electric cars being built in California. We don't want liberal policies that say I can steal $1,000 because that ain't going to feed my family. Thank you to ATR. Correct. No, they don't do research, sir. Join the channel. $2 membership available right now. I made some fire emojis to fire up the clowns in the chat. Join the channel, $2 holla. Gift out memberships. Get everybody with the fire emojis I created so we can get the chat fired up. This is the reality of America. Tesla did not build in California. It did not build in California because of liberal policies. Not because black, not because white. But I tell you this, if Tesla would have built in California, it would have helped all low-income people. If Tesla would have built in California, it would have helped everybody in the lower income, black, white, purple, green, and brown. But when Tesla goes to Texas, who benefits? Well, Texans benefit. And everybody, and see how it's not about race? You see how it's not about race? What happened to black and white? You see how it's not about race? When Tesla leaves California, a Democratic state, and then goes to Texas, a Republican state that has incentives for business, tax-free incentives, tax breaks. That's not race. That's not racism. To everybody who hates Elon Musk in the chat, you need to have, this is why you don't have a business. This is why you don't understand companies and profit. Do you understand that wasn't racism that made Elon leave California? It was liberal democratic politics. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Do you see how this works? Do you see why we voted for Trump? Do you see how this works? It has a real effect on your life. To those people who live in D.C., to those people who live in democratic cities like St. Louis and Milwaukee that don't have jobs and high crime, don't you wish you had a Tesla plant? Wouldn't it help crime if you had a Tesla plant? Wouldn't it help if you had more plants and jobs? Wouldn't crime go down? But wait a minute. Companies don't want to build in democratic liberal because you get sued, because the employees don't want to work. So Tesla didn't build in California. And we lost. Blacks, whites, Democrats, everybody in California loses. Do you understand? You know what we got? Instead of getting Tesla, one of the most advanced companies, it doesn't matter if you like the owner, instead of getting him building here and staying here, he said he wanted to stay here. We got a liberal policy that said you can steal up to $1,000. That's what you want, Democrats? See, this is what I gotta do. My job is to bring out the honesty. I gotta bring out the honesty. That's what you got. See, it doesn't matter if you don't like it because these are realities. Tesla's not coming back to California. Hello? Hold on. Wait, where my microphone? Where my Rode microphone and my frameworks? Where my rig at? Let's get this going. Tesla's not coming back to California. You know what we got instead? We got kids running into the Macy's, stealing jewelry, 20 people at a time. That's what you got instead in California. You got crime, you got carjacking, you got criminals going free, but you didn't get a Tesla plant. But wait a minute, because the trolls in the chat want you to be angry. They say you can live off of anger. You can feed your family anger. See, they want to I love it. Get the chat fired up. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. 190 people watching, 60 likes. I need 100 likes on the double. Let's get them upset because that's all you have, Democrats. All you have is your anger, and I hope it feeds you. I hope it keeps you safe tonight. I hope your anger and malcontent keeps you safe tonight if you live in D.C., if you live in St. Louis, because the police cannot protect you because Democratic liberal policies say they gotta let the criminals go. Hello, if you live in St. Louis, they got a point system and all the teenagers, the YNs with Uzis get let go because it's a point system. So I hope your anger keeps you company tonight. I hope your anger protects you, all the Democratic trolls in the chat. Come on, man. I hope your malcontent is going to keep you safe when you get carjacked. I hope it's going to protect you from those beautiful liberal democratic policies that led to Trump calling in the National Guard into D.C. It's the Trump takeover. This is the unfiltered truth. My name is Perfect. This is the top of the mid-morning podcast. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you to everybody watching. This is the unfiltered truth behind the Trump DC takeover. You don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. But I got to give it to them. Jesus, Jesus, they can't handle the truth. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. They can't handle the truth, but we got to give them the truth. We got to give them the truth. No. Listen to this. Y'all want to hear some truth. I got some truth. No. Don't get upset. No. I need you to hear this truth. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's give them some truth this morning.
We need help. We need everybody. This is worse than the 80s. You worrying about your child every day. They come out the house to go to school. It's like, okay, is my child at school safe? Did they make it home from school safe?
Concerns like those voiced by Kiera Moore are the reasons DC leaders are going door to door. Kiera's family lives in Union Heights. She's worried about raising her 2 sons in the city she says is plagued with crime.
Back when I was coming up, we was able to come outside and go play without worrying about getting shot.
ANC Commissioner Kathy Henderson joined the interim police chief, assistant chief, and 5th District Commander to hear those concerns.
We really want the community to come out and tell us what happened here. Like, get mad, get engaged, get out in your community, just be outraged about what happened.
7 News has been tracking the numbers. 107 murders in D.C. just through the middle of June, up 15% from last year.
We're never going to stop this circle of violence if people don't take action. Our people.
Are there any actions that you guys are taking that are sort of, new safety measures or anything like that you guys could mention, or future plans?
I think our current deployment strategy with spot police, and then this is one of the areas that we're doing that, is for our officers to come here and engage, get out of their vehicles, talk to our citizens, talk to Commissioner Henderson and other ANC commissioners to find out what the problem spots are.
At Wayfair, we get...
This 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. I did this story on DC. I've been following DC. DC, even though they won't tell you this morning, DC actually been asking for help. DC has been begging for help. If you go back to the beginning of this story, what you hear the chief saying is, we need help. We need help. This is the story in DC and a lot of liberal policy ran cities. We need help. That is the fact. I got another video about the truth about the DC crime rate.
Police officers in Ward 5 was interrupted by a mother's wailing cry. Police say her 44-year-old son, Russell Wiseman, was shot and killed Monday on West Virginia Avenue.
My focus is on the citizens of 5D.
About 2 hours later, we caught up with Commander Sylvan Altieri, just a mile away from the murder scene.
I'm told, by witnesses, they jumped out of the car and not only just shot this person, stood over him and emptied their gun. Is it a certain level of brazenness that we haven't seen before?
Well, based on the shooting, I don't really know all the facts to that because I've not interviewed any witnesses myself. I know, unfortunately, someone in my district lost their life, which is terrible. And as a commander, it's a hard thing to live with.
According to police data, violent crime is up 37% in the district. Here in Ward 5, car thefts, burglaries, and robberies are rising, but homicide, sex abuse, and armed assaults are actually down. The commander credits focused policing for...
So, do y'all see what's going on in DC? I have to be the one. Independent media has to be the one to tell you the truth about the crime in DC going up. Why does independent media, why don't they tell you? Why don't they show you the truth? I've been watching this for over 2 years. I said Donald Trump has been president 6 months. The problem in St. Louis, the problem in DC, the problem in Milwaukee, the problem in Chicago did not materialize in 6 months. That is just not the truth. DC violent crime is up 37%. The people and the people and the police are asking for help. This is a reality that is not being discussed with you in the liberal social media. DC has been crime ridden ever since the last administration employed these liberal policies and point systems that keep criminals on the streets in democratic cities. We need to be honest. We need more people who live in these democratic cities who are not criminals, who go to work, who suffer from the crime and violence, to speak up and stand up and be honest. And you may not agree with Trump, but you have to be honest about the democratic policies and what they have led to in your city, in your state. And then we have to come to some consensus on how we fix the problem. Because today, this morning, what we cannot do is ignore the problem. There is a problem in DC. There is a problem in St. Louis. There is a problem in Chicago. There is a problem in Milwaukee. And if we get upset, and if we blame racism, and we don't do honest politics and assessment of the truth, because it's a curve. You understand what I'm saying? This is not something that happened overnight. This violence can be tracked. These upticks can be tracked and correlated back to these policies that resulted from BLM protests. They said defund police. I said it when they said it. Defund police, it makes no sense. Make more crimes legal, it makes no sense. And I said they're not going to do this in Republican, so only in the all minorities, only in the lower income democratic cities, you came up with this plan. You didn't do it anywhere else. Think about it. They didn't do it anywhere else. They did this experiment with the poorest of the poor and the lowest of the low. In the most broken democratic cities, Philadelphia. Have you seen Kensington in Philadelphia? Have you seen Philadelphia and the people looking like zombies? Can we have a talk about democratic ran cities? Can we have a talk? Because if you listen, you will understand that DC is not going to be the last city. Can you get ready? Can I tell everybody get ready? DC is not going to be the last city, because DC is not the only city that's been asking for help. See, when Trump does this, think about it, the Republicans have subpoenaed Democrats and Republicans. The Republican Oversight Committee has subpoenaed everything you could think of as it correlates to Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I said? You got to be careful what you ask for. The Democrats have been asking for help in these Democrat-ran cities. You know what I say? You got to be careful what you ask for. Because, see, when the Democrats start trolling and say, we want Epstein files, we want Epstein files, guess what the Republican House Oversight Committee did? They subpoenaed everything and everybody, including your favorite Democrat who happened to be in power during Epstein when he was doing all of his dirt. Shout out to Cube Czar, said $14, man. That's dope, man. What is going on? I think that's from another country, but I want to say thank you, man. That's a blessing, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Can we have a real talk about the result? You know what I'm saying? So now Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton got 2 weeks before they got to testify. James Comey got to testify. Eric Holder got to testify. See, we want everything because the American people got upset. So the Republican House Oversight Committee is going to give you everything you asked for, including, Acosta said they couldn't prosecute Jeffrey Epstein because he was an FBI informant. So we need to ask James Comey. I'm sorry. We got to ask who was the head of the FBI during that time. We got to ask the FBI. We got to ask Comey. You got to ask Acosta. You got to ask, you know what I'm saying, Jeff Sessions. You got to ask, come on, Eric Holder. You got to ask these people because we don't want to lie to the American people. So look, DC asked for help. DC was crying out for help. DC violent crime up 40%. So Trump is giving you what you asked for. St. Louis has been doing the same thing. Chicago, Memphis. See, there are democratic cities. They've been asking for help. But see, you got to be careful what you ask for. Because I promise you, DC will not be the last city, because what we have allowed to happen, which did not happen in 6 months. Oh, what was the last, remember that fight? What was the last thing in Cincinnati? I never talked about it because I was disappointed in JD Vance, and I love JD Vance. And I know there's a lot of bullshit going on. Let's have a talk about Cincinnati. Let's have a talk about, since there was a fight. Some drunk people got into a fight in Cincinnati, 3 o'clock in the morning outside of a bar. Now, some people, I'm not, some people are use race on the right to talk about this issue. I thought that's a losing issue. I don't like when the Democrats use race. I don't like when Republicans use race. You know what happened in Cincinnati, a Democratic city? What happened in Cincinnati is happening in a lot of these Democratic cities. That, remember what she said, is there a brazenness of the crime? Has the level crime had, because she said someone shot him, got out the car, stood over him, and then shot him some more. So the reporter wanted to know, has the brazenness and the type of criminal changed in 2025? Are we looking at a different type of criminal? And if we are, why are we seeing this brazenness of crime in broad daylight? Why at 3 a.m. in Cincinnati are we seeing this big fight? Shout out to Mr. Perfect Timing, man. Become a member as low as $1.99, man. So in Cincinnati, we got this big fight. Some people on the right wanted to use race, but because they did not, but I think, see, when you use race, I think race makes you stupid. When you use racism, it makes you stupid, because Vivek, who I don't like, missed the opportunity. JD Vance missed the opportunity to talk about the result of democratic liberal policies and how it's caused a deterioration of the American culture in these democratic bubbles. So if you go to like a Mormon place in Utah, no one's out at 3 in the morning getting drunk. In certain think about what I'm saying. In certain red states where there's more religion, no one's out at 3 in the morning getting drunk, black or white. See, what happened in Cincinnati is not black people attacking white people or white people being racist to a black woman, and so those black people retaliated. It's not about race. What happened in Cincinnati is about a democratic city with lawlessness that has gone crazy, and where people, black and white, are out at 3 o'clock in the morning drunk, fighting like it's a third world country. It doesn't happen in the red state where people are going to church the next morning. See, in Utah, people are going to church the next morning. There are no clubs open at 3 a.m. Everything closes down. There is nobody drunk outside, black or white. Do you understand why I got upset? JD Vance, Vivek, you missed the opportunity to talk about the real issue. The issue was not black people being thugs or racist white people. The issue is these democratically ran cities that encourage this level of depravity. Democratic liberal cities that say party all night long. Party all she want to do, party all the time, party all the time. My girl likes to party all the time. See, these truths people don't want to be honest about. That certain cities in America, you can't even drink on Sunday. I've been in red states. I travel the South. I go visit my family. So when I go down south and I go to red states, do you know there's dry counties? You know what a dry county is? No one's drunk at 3 a.m. in the morning in a red state in a dry county. Can we have a real talk this morning about how policies lead to the quality of life? See, liberal policies in Cincinnati, St. Louis, DC lead to carjackings and an uptick of a certain type of violence. This is just the fact of the matter, right? But then you go to another place and you like, oh, no one drinks. It's a dry county. What? I never heard of a dry county. Yeah, this is a dry county. You can't buy any alcohol here. Huh? In America? Yeah, you can't. It's a dry county. And then you go down the street and on Sunday, we don't sell alcohol on Sunday. Huh? Yeah, everybody go to church. We don't sell alcohol on Sunday. You don't sell you can't buy alcohol in this county on Sunday. So that means no one is drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, black or white, getting into a fight. Women, do you remember the Cincinnati video had women fighting, drunk women. Where I grew up, you don't have drunk women. It's not appealing. If you go to church and you a woman and you caught outside drunk, you know you get in trouble at church. If your wife is outside in the public drunk. So in Cincinnati, DC, New York, all these liberal cities, you got women outside drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning having a fight. And you think it's about race? That's what let me down about JD and Vivek. It's not about race, brother. Because JD, you married to an Indian woman. You would never be outside at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your wife would never, not even drunk. Your wife would never be drunk. And your wife, listen, JD's wife would never be drunk. Number one, she would never get drunk because she's the type of woman with class who would never allow herself to get that inebriated, that intoxicated because you're not in control anymore. You understand? I work in a hospital. I work with doctors and scientists. The type of people, my colleagues, would never allow themselves to get drunk to that point. Now, that's in public or private. Now, that's one. Now, they would never get that drunk because it's called being a drunkard, but then they would never get drunk in public. My colleagues would never get that drunk in public. So now you're talking about professional people drunk in public, and a woman 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not about race. JD and Vivek, you missed a great opportunity to talk about America and why Trump needs to be in DC, because these democratic cities are deteriorating. The first thing I would have said is, why is everybody out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and why is everybody drunk? Don't they got to go to work? Don't they got to go to church? Oh, it's a democratic city. Nobody works in this city. Nobody pays taxes in this city. This city is broke. Oh, because a lot of democratic cities are broke. Like Flint, Detroit, Vallejo, Milwaukee. These cities are Cincinnati. A lot of these democratic cities are broke because they don't have a tax base. So the first thing I would have said is, why is everybody out at 3 o'clock in the morning drunk? What's wrong with this city? Why is this city set up in a way where people feel comfortable? And this is what needs to change in DC. This is what's going on in DC. This is why so much crime and violence. What's going on in these democratic American cities where people are out at 3 in the morning drinking and fighting, black and white? What's going on in America where people are out at 3 in the morning, black and white, drinking, drunk, actually drunk and fighting with each other? Why are they, what? You understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? And I go to Utah, and everybody, they say Utah is a bad place. I go to Utah, everybody's happy. I go to Utah, everybody drinking soda. They don't drink coffee. They don't drink alcohol. Everybody go to church. I go to Utah, everybody's happy. You go to Texas, is the most jobs, the most growth, people going to work, people going to church. Where do you want to live? To everybody in the chat, where do you want to live? I just want to know, do you want to live with a 96, 7 up, double up, 7 up? Get 100 likes, man. Where we going in today this morning, man? Thank you, everybody who liked. Thank you, everybody for sharing. Thank you, everybody who subscribed, man. Oh, man, First Time Podcast with the Blast, man. Man, DC is in trouble, man. DC is in trouble, but that's okay. Trump is on the way in the double. Trump is on the way in the double. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Trump is on the way in the double. That's what I said. So we talking about the truth about DC. Can we be honest about I've been watching this. Why Angel said first time here. DTM 254 said never drunk. What the F are you saying? Pay attention, man. Everybody, it be slow people in the chat. Pay attention, man. KRAR Body McPherson. That woman only sleeps because she has a big dude. That hoe gets drunk. All right, let's pay attention. Let's pay attention, everybody. Let me tell you how the Democrats handle crime and violence in DC. Does everybody want to see how the Democrats handle the last administration handled crime and violence?
Right now, as we speak, Washington is erecting a fence around the Capitol in anticipation of Biden's State of the Union tomorrow. Not a fence around the border, a fence around Biden, who thinks he needs protection from you while he doesn't provide protection from them. Now, this fence is a sinister symbol to stigmatize half the country's dangerous, to justify his crackdown. Even though we outnumber them, they're powerful and will overwhelm you with shame.
They put up a fence. Biden put up a fence. Do y'all remember the Democrats and Trump took it down? Trump took it down. So why are you surprised? Trump is making DC. They had American cities looking like third world cities. They had American cities looking like third world cities. And instead of changing the Democratic policy, I showed you the chief asking for help. I did a story where the chief talked about he couldn't arrest teenagers for selling marijuana because the Democrats had changed the marijuana laws to make marijuana legal to the point where they could sell marijuana without a license. Now, the chief wasn't saying that he doesn't agree. Listen, the chief was saying, I agree with medical marijuana, but the laws in DC have been changed to the point where you can have a kid on the corner selling marijuana without a license. And that causes crime and violence around that young person selling marijuana. And the chief of police in DC was asking for help. Now, the kind of help he was asking for was the kind of help Trump is giving today. He wasn't asking for a pat on the back. He said, I need more police. I need more people to patrol, and we need that law changed. He didn't say, I don't want to take away medical marijuana. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that a teenager should not be able to sell marijuana on a corner without a license, right? And right now the law said, and the kids know it. He said, we approach the kids and they have scales. He said they have digital scales and they know the law. They know how much legally they can have on their person and they know how much legally they can sell without it being a crime. Now, a lot of people might say that's great. They can sell weed and make money. But in America, you have to have a license to operate a business and you have to pay taxes. You have to pay taxes in order to pay for the police officer and the fire department in case your house catches on fire, which right now in America, the house is on fire. So if the house catches on fire, you need a fire department. We saw in LA what happened when you don't pay and fund the fire department, when you don't have water. Fire hydrants didn't work in LA. A whole community burnt down. And did you know what happened in LA before the whole community burnt down? The Democrat mayor, listen to this. The Democrat mayor gave fire engines to the Ukraine. I was so upset. I couldn't believe it. I said, what? That Democrat mayor, that lady in LA, she gave away fire engines just like 6 months before the fire. She said, oh, Ukraine, we stand with Ukraine. Stand with America. I said the Democratic mayor of LA gave away 9 engines to the Ukraine under the last administration, and then LA burns up. See, if you don't have people working, paying a tax base, if you got kids selling weed on the corner, not paying taxes, who gonna pay for the water? Who gonna pay for the fire hydrants? See, the trolls love to troll. It's so easy to troll and say something stupid in the chat. It's so easy for Democrats because Democrats don't have nothing. The Democrats don't have no reality. The Democrats don't have a policy. The Democrats don't have a leader. The Democrats don't have an agenda. All they have is the troll. All they have is the anger. Well, I bring real policy, real truth, real facts. And anybody who knows the inner city, anybody who knows the marijuana and crime, and when I describe to you the scenario of a teenager having the ability to sell marijuana without a license, then you can understand when the chief is saying this is why crime is going up. It's not necessarily the fact that he is selling the marijuana. It's the existential things that come from the marijuana sales that we cannot curb or we cannot curtail. So now I have 20, 50 people on the corner selling marijuana, and then I have people trying to purchase that marijuana, and I have people trying to steal and rob the people who are making the money because they don't have jobs. It's a cluster. It's a cluster of problems. And he said, I don't have enough police officers to deal with it. So he says, I need help. And then when Trump sends in help to DC, then everybody is acting like Trump is some type of evil person. But you forgot DC begged for this. See, the liberal, it's only going to come from independent media. This is only going to come from independent media because the liberal media refuses to be honest about the realities of these independent liberal democratic cities. The Democrats beg for this. I just played a video where the chief and the mayor said, I need help. And he said, I don't know what happened. She said, the report is someone got out the car, shot the man, someone drove by, shot and killed somebody. Then they stopped the car in broad daylight, got out the car, stood over the man and shot some more. So she wanted to ask the police, what would make a criminal so brazen to stop a car in broad daylight after they've already shot somebody, get out the car and shoot again? They must not fear arrest. For everybody's wondering why the National Guard is in DC this morning. Should we play it again? Maybe people are not listening. Should y'all want to play it again? We could play it again. I'll play it again. I'll play it again. Let's play it again because it's a horrible story. It's terrifying. It's what's going on in DC. And they don't want to be honest.
Son, Russell Wiseman, was shot and killed Monday on West Virginia Avenue.
My focus is on the citizens of 5D.
About 2 hours later, we caught up with Commander Sylvan Altieri, just a mile away from the murder scene.
I'm told, by witnesses, they jumped out of the car and not only just shot this person, stood over him and emptied their gun. Is it a certain level of brazenness that we haven't seen before?
They jumped out the car and emptied their gun. They jumped out the car and emptied their gun. For everybody wondering why Donald Trump is taking over DC, she said they jumped out the car and emptied their gun. Is there a certain level of brazenness that is specific to DC? Is there a specific problem occurring in DC? And we still haven't talked about big balls. Are we going to talk about big balls? Are we going to talk about the Doge employee, Big Balls, who was attacked? Can we talk about big balls? Because what they're not talking about this morning is what preceded Trump sending the National Guard. I'm giving you a list. I'm listing it down, baby. I'm giving you everything, bullet point by bullet point by bullet point. Big balls in your jaws, all in your walls. This morning on Monday, top of the mid-morning podcast, there was a young man, a Doge employee, leaving work. Do you hear me? There was a young man, a Doge employee, leaving work, and he witnessed a young lady leaving work being carjacked. So that young man interceded. Thank you, Big Balls. Can I get a thank you, Big Balls, in the chat? Thank you, Big Balls. Can I get a like? Can we get a double tap and a like? Can we get a thank you, Big Balls, in the chat? Who don't like big balls? Thank you, Big Balls. Everybody loves some big balls. Thank you, Big Balls, in the chat. A young man saw a young lady being carjacked. So he interceded to help save this young lady's life. And that young man paid a price. That young man paid a price. His name was Big Balls. I said his name was Big Balls. His name, say his name. Ain't that what they say? Ain't that what they say? Say his name. Big Balls. Thanks, Big Balls. And he paid a price for trying to save a young woman from getting carjacked. Do y'all know that in St. Louis that, I gotta play this video. People getting carjacked and then they getting out the next day after getting carjacked. They getting out the next day because of a point system. Because of a point system. Okay, let's.
Being a football player with plaques.
I got so much evidence this morning. I love President Trump. Can we say President Trump is the greatest? Can we say America is the greatest? It's Trump news all day, every day, giving Democrats the blue hoo-hoos. Trump new hoo-hoos, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. That's what we do. That's exactly what we do. Let's listen to another report. Somebody said, I'm from the Lou. I know well about it, but the mayor doesn't care. Can you say that again? I'm going to put a pin in that. I'm going to put a pin in that. Because, they think I'm just yelling at the screen. They think I haven't done my research. I did my research. They don't know about the point system in St. Louis. I did my research. I know about the point system. See, some of us from the community that we're from, we know a lot. I don't talk about a lot of black issues because I don't talk about stuff like Young Dolph. But the thing about Young Dolph is Memphis and the chief of police. The thing about Young Dolph, I would love to be able to talk about it, but my audience doesn't really hear about Young Dolph. It's not about Young Dolph. It's about Memphis and how that chief of police has been allowed to stay in office. The young man was murdered by that task force. She stayed in office. Young Dolph was murdered by someone who should have been incarcerated. She stayed. She straight dropped, got out of jail for shooting someone 2 times. In Memphis, they have this thing like in St. Louis where you could shoot somebody, attempted murder, get arrested, go to jail, and get out. So this young man and the people who killed Young Dolph went to jail, got out, went to jail, got out, went to jail, got out, and then murdered this guy. And the chief of police was able to keep her job. We are not being honest about what's going on in Memphis and St. Louis. You want to be mad at Trump. You want to make a joke. But guess what? Some of us live here. The holster said he from St. Louis. If you live in St. Louis, if you live in Memphis, if you live in DC, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a troll. You live in a city where you see people commit a crime, get out of jail, and commit a crime again, and you're terrified to go shopping to get gas. How many people live in these cities are scared for their daughter and mother to get gas? I know I don't let my wife go to the gas station. How many men do not? I get gas. I get the gas. Can we have an honest talk? I don't think we're being honest. Who gets the gas in your family? My wife do not pump the gas. She don't go to the gas station by herself. If she go to the gas station by herself, I am cussing her out. She gonna have to deal with me. You do not go to the MF gas station by yourself. Not in 2025, not in America. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? Do you let your wife go to the gas station at night? Not if you live in Memphis. Not if you live in St. Louis. Not if you live in DC. This is why Trump has the guard there. Do you let your wife go to the gas station at night? Not if you live in St. Louis. Not if you live in Memphis. Not if you live in Milwaukee. Not if you live in Chocolate City. You do not let your wife go to the gas station at night. I let my wife do whatever she wants to do because she's her own woman and she can handle herself. That's a lie and a troll. Let me put you on timeout for lying. I'm gonna put you on timeout for 10 minutes. Get your act together. There's real fathers and real husbands. There's real fathers and real husbands. This ain't the time for jokes, because somebody read that comment might think that it's okay to let their wife go to the gas station by herself in a St. Louis. Is the holster still in here? Do you let your wife go to the gas station by yourself? Crime was going down in DC. No, certain types of crime have gone down, but violent crime like carjacking, shootings have gone up. Robberies have gone up. Do you know why certain violent crime has gone up? Because of liberal policies have made it legal. See, liberal policies in this point system make it so that criminals can reoffend. So there are certain type of crimes that have skyrocketed because you can steal $1,000. You can carjack and not go to jail. So these crimes are out of control. And it's terrorizing people. Big Balls got beat up and a young lady got carjacked. So don't tell me about crime going down, because that's right now. Right now, Big Balls got beat up and a young lady got carjacked. Today, right now, not 2 years ago.
Names of cities like my hometown of St. Louis, this is an American problem. When you hear the names of cities like my hometown of St. Louis, New York City, one of the first thing that pops into your head is that they are dangerous. My hometown of St. Louis. The murder rate is twice DC. 52 murders per 100,000 people. That's roughly equivalent to the homicide rate of Jamaica. And it's not surprising. Just consider this headline from St. Louis. Teens can't be held after carjacking, St. Louis police say. Then they carjack again.
Can we have a real talk this morning? Thank you to the holster for that comment. I'm not here trying to make people upset. Double check it. I got people from St. Louis in the chat. There's a point system. Listen, there's a point system.
With us now, Tim Fitch, former police chief of St. Louis County, former councilman of the 3rd District of St. Louis County. Glad to have you on. I live in Washington, D.C. My wife obviously does. And there's a lot of times at night we don't want to go out because of these roving gangs of kids. You can't enjoy the city.
So I asked the question, do you let your wife go to the gas station at night? And some clown put in the chat, I let my wife do whatever she want to do. You don't love your wife. I asked the question, do you let your wife go to the gas station at night? Did you hear this brother? He said, me and my wife don't go outside at night because of the gangs of kids that can commit crime and not go to jail because of liberal policies that say you can steal up to $1,000 and not be arrested. Let's go back to the tape.
What does bringing in federal law enforcement do?
You know, it sounds good. The last count I knew, there was about 25 different federal law enforcement agencies in DC. So there's a lot of staffing there, but nothing, like they couldn't just take over the city, the federal police and police the city. They don't have enough. Now, what they could do, what Trump could do, is take over and command the police department, put his own person in charge. He could do that temporarily. He could bring in the National Guard. They could do it. So there's options available to the president if he wants to take those options. But the real issue is this, Leland. It's the parent or parents. In many cases, it's a single parent not supervising their children. That's what's causing these issues. If they're 12 and 13-year-olds are out at 3 and 4 in the morning doing carjackings, where is that parent?
Oh my God! I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Yes, Democrat policies have a result. Breaking down families, single parent homes. I said we're going to have an honest talk this morning because there are things that lead to this crime. There are things that lead to this uptick in crime. And there are reasons why we didn't vote for Kamala Harris, because we want families, we want fathers, we want America to be great again. What you thought we was gonna do this morning? We thought we was gonna play with you? You thought we was gonna play with you? No. We're not gonna play with you because what do we have? I said Utah. Remember, I compared Utah in the beginning. See, Utah is different because they have strong families. But see, in these democratic liberal bastions, you have policies that encourage single families. You have abortion, you have welfare, you have food stamps, you have criminality, you have legalized criminality. All these things encourage single parent Section 8. That's why some black conservative men like myself like the big beautiful bill. Why do I like the big beautiful bill? I want to do away with these democratic liberal bastions that are fostering crime, gangs, and violence. You know what crimes, gang, and violence is built on? Poverty. Crime, gangs, and violence is built on poverty, welfare, food stamps, all of these programs. You do not have crime, violence, poverty, and gangs without the welfare, the food stamps, and everything that the Democrats say you need more of. Not more jobs, not more empowerment, not more education, not more understanding about political advantage. No, they say you need to be able to steal $1,000 from the store. That's not going to make your life better. Why would a Democrat propose that? If the Democrats knew, think about this, the Democrats knew you were facing an existential problem with inflation under the last administration. So the answer to that inflation, can y'all be honest? The answer to that inflation was to let you steal, not to increase the minimum wage. The Democrats with their power gave out policy. You can steal up to $1,000. Why not just raise the minimum wage? Can anybody answer that? Can anybody just tell me why not just raise the minimum wage? Why not just raise, if you had the political will and you had the political power to change the law? Can we have a talk this morning? I need to talk to you this morning. I need you to listen and be honest this morning because the laws changed after BLM. The Democrats had a lot of power and a lot of influence. Defund the police, defund the police. And what did the Democrats do? The Democrats did not give you jobs. The Democrats did not raise your wages. The stagnant raise, the Democrats did not deal with the trade deficit. The Democrats said, you can steal, you stay poor, you own nothing, you get nothing. And if you want to eat, you have to steal. You wonder why it's like it is in DC? You wonder why it's like it is in St. Louis? Facts. Take away all these problems, take away all these handouts, and we get rid of all of the job benefits from people in the poverty. Like how the people getting paid for helping people. Like, who said hi? A lot of people saying hi. Steve said hi. Ryan said lie. Baba Yaga speaking fast. Shout out to Baba Yaga 808. Wayne Schultz, he's spitting and sweating. Thank you, brother. I'm in here handling my business. Why you don't have a picture for your emoji, Wayne? You're probably a troll. Kendrick, Milwaukee. Thank you. Talk about Milwaukee or Milwaukee. Let's talk about these young people who go commit heinous crimes with weapons and get out the next day. They get out the next day because of a point system. Can you talk about Milwaukee, brother? Can you give them some facts about Milwaukee, about what it's like to live in Milwaukee? Can you give them some facts about what it's like to live in St. Louis under these Democrats? This ain't about Trump. This ain't about black or white. Because this is the funny part about the racists and the idiots. The policies I'm talking about don't say only black. This is 2025, man. This is real democratic, the results of what you voted for. Can you talk about the results of the democratic policies in St. Louis? Can you just be honest real quick in the chat? Can you tell them about the democratic policies? Come on, man, in Milwaukee that let criminals who have guns get out and they keep committing the crimes. What is the effect on the community in Milwaukee? What's the effect of the community with these Democratic, because the Democrats say it's going to make life better. Can anybody tell me what's the effect of the community in St. Louis? Has it made life better? I can tell you it hasn't made life better in California. Letting people steal up to $1,000 has not improved the quality of life in California. So can anybody tell me, has it helped you? Has it helped you? Democratic policies that say you can steal, you can carry a gun, has that helped your quality of life? Huh? It's a dark cloud, trash everywhere, no specific funding for the communities, almost by design. Did you hear what he said? Brother, today, this morning, I am arguing that it is by design. I am arguing that the Democrats legislate the way they do is by design. The Democrats do have an agenda. The Democrats want to invoke fear in order to get you to adhere to their policies. And they are oligarchs. They are oligarchs. They want you to be scared of Trump, not debate his policies. Why has Jasmine Crockett ran away? Because they are trying to teach you what to do. They are trying to break down the democratic process. Do you know if Jasmine Crockett and the Democrats in the Texas leave and they create this example, that means other Americans will think the way that you do politics in America is to leave. Shout out to my wife in the building. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 5K today. Shout out to you, Mrs. Perfect Timing. Thank you for the super chat. Do you understand the example being set by the Democrats? And see, Jasmine Crockett has national fame. There's an example being set to not do work. There's an example being set to break down democracy. Jasmine Crockett and the Democrats in Texas are giving an example of to break. First, what they did with Biden is they said Biden had cognitive decline. They never said who said that. They take away the democracy. I am terrified of the Democrats, because I don't know who is running the party. And I don't know, I know it won't be the American people. Listen to this. They said Biden had cognitive decline. Kamala Harris denied that statement. All that made the American people want to know is who is running America? Who said Biden couldn't be president? Then the Democrats took away the convention and did not educate the American people on what the convention is even for. Kamala Harris had never won a primary. The convention is so she can have to debate other Democrats and you guys come up with the best candidate. The Democratic convention is supposed to be democracy. The highest level of democracy is the convention before the presidency, because that's a chance for people, real American people, to get in and argue their points of view in the convention. Can you tell me who took away the convention? See, if you understand these things, you may understand what's going on in some Democratic cities. Because do you understand what's going on with Democrats in America? Who did that? Who said Biden had cognitive decline? Who said Biden couldn't run? Who told Kamala to deny Biden cognitive decline? Who picked Kamala? Who said we're not having a convention? Who picked Tim Walz? As you call Trump a king, I just want to know who did all these things. Because we, on this side, we knew Biden had cognitive decline. We knew that. Everybody called us mean. They said, you're not respecting your elders. Okay, we were quiet. Then the Democrats were able to say, yes, Biden has cognitive decline. All we wanted to know is who made that call? Because we saw it. We said it the whole time. We've been saying it for 2 years. We saw Biden get left on stage. We saw him fall asleep on stage. So we weren't surprised after that debate when Trump whooped his butt that they said cognitive decline. We just wanted to know who. Okay, you didn't tell us who. Okay, Kamala Harris is going to be the candidate. Who? Who said that? And then you take away the convention. Do you understand what's going on in America? The Democrats are removing democracy. And it's because I believe the American people have been dumbed down with single families and the illiteracy rates, and they don't understand what's happening. They don't understand what these questions. Because if you love democracy, if you hate Trump, because this is why I know it's trolls and people are not as intelligent as they want to seem in the chat. Because if they truly are mad at Trump, they would want to know who made these decisions. See, they're not really mad at Trump. They're mad at their life. They're mad at what the Democrats created. See, they don't know how to. They don't know how to articulate the way I do. That's why I have this podcast, because I've been blessed with the vocabulary. But see, there are a lot of people in America who don't know how to articulate their frustration, so they get mad at Trump because they can't be honest about who really did the things to them and caused the current circumstances. If you really gave a crap about democracy and Trump being a king, you would want to know who made these decisions on the left. You would want to know who is your king. If you are so concerned about Trump being king, you would want to know who is your king. Who made these decisions for you? Because Kamala lost. Tim Walsh was the wrong decision. Kamala was the wrong decision. Making Biden cognitive decline was the wrong decision. So as a leader, as someone who wants to win, you need to know who made these decisions. Who is deciding, who is helping Jasmine Crockett? Who is behind Jasmine Crockett? Because Jasmine Crockett is on the national stage, and Jasmine Crockett has stopped the democratic process. Jasmine Crockett, there will be a downstream effect that affects your kitchen table. Jasmine Crockett has stopped the democratic process. By leaving the state and getting other Democrats to leave Texas, they went to California, they went to New York, they went to Illinois on private planes. So I gave you news about one private plane, but I didn't know that they flew to 3 states. So that's 3 private planes. Can we have a real talk about your reality as an American and the Democrats? That's 3 private planes to leave Texas. Now, we have nice hotels. Jasmine Crockett did an interview this morning in a beautiful hotel. Jasmine Crockett is a public employee, like a mailman. Who's paying for the private plane? Who's paying for the hotel? Jasmine Crockett, AOC, the Democrats in Texas are public servants, like a mailman. They get paid from tax dollars. They should not be able to afford a private plane or luxury hotels, and they damn sure should not be leaving the state of Texas, stopping the democratic process. But again, I ask, who is in control of the Democratic Party? Who is making these decisions? Who is running these cities? Who, if you look at all of these cities, does it surprise you that the mayor and the chief looks the same? In St. Louis, in Memphis, in DC, the mayor and the chief looks the same, and for some reason they can't fix the problem in the city. What's going on in America? Can anybody tell me?
Is it time to start holding parents responsible?
We've done that in St. Louis. 4th of July, for example. Downtown St. Louis, basically, if juveniles were engaged after curfew in any kind of offenses down there, they were brought into the police station, their parent was called to come and pick them up, and then the parent was issued a summons for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So we'll see what that's going to look like long term. If they, that's a misdemeanor. Many people don't care about misdemeanor, and many of them don't care about felonies. So we'll have to see if that's going to work long term.
We're watching video right now of what's called Navy Yard, which is where the baseball stadium is here in D.C., big entertainment district, residential district, a lot of apartments. And these were some of the marauding gangs of kids that were taking it over and beating people up and mugging people on and on and on. You've seen this in St. Louis as well. This is Janine Pirro, who is now the U.S. Attorney for D.C. Take a listen.
We're seeing far too much crime being committed by young people. 14, 15, 16, 17 years old that I can't get my hands on. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but, young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts and family court.
Point made. But in St. Louis, for example, has the prosecutors change their tune from the experiment that we're not going to punish anybody because it's not their fault, it's society's fault?
It absolutely has changed. Our new prosecutor in St. Louis County, Melissa Price Smith, has said, if you get caught committing a crime with a firearm, you will go to jail the first time. So she's made
hard
that
to imagine
promise.
that's hard to imagine that you have to say that, but
yeah. Well, and typically, we have a crazy point system with juvenile offenders in this state, where you have to hit so many points before you actually get incarcerated. So we had a recent incident in St. Louis where they carjacked an Uber driver, were immediately released. The very next day, they carjacked a Lyft driver. So that's what we're seeing.
This is what I've been saying. They have a point system in these democratic cities where you don't even go to jail until you reach a certain level of points. And what happened? They had a group of teenagers do a carjacking of an Uber, got out of jail. The next day they did a carjacking of a Lyft. They are having gangs of youth running around DC. There's an entertainment plaza in DC, and these are kids of single parent homes. I love the fact in this expose, not only did they correlate DC to St. Louis and liberal policies, but they correlated DC, St. Louis liberal policies to single parent homes. Can we have a talk this morning? When you see teenagers in 2030, he said we have to deal with the parents. 13, 14, 15 years old. I said, and you know it too. I don't have to say it because I'm a black man, and there are tropes that go along with being a black conservative on YouTube. So I don't have to say it. You know it. There are policies that encourage single parent homes in democratic cities that do not exist in red states. See, when Elon Musk went to Texas, Elon Musk knew he would get a different type of employee because the same democratic policies that exist in California, where you had employees late all the time, does not exist in Texas. Democratic policies like Section 8, democratic policies like welfare, food stamps that encourage the single parent lifestyle, that bolster and hold up the single parent lifestyle, that creates a certain type of what's the word I'm looking for? Entitled. That creates a certain type of entitled child, right? These single parent homes create this certain type of entitled child that thinks they're entitled, so they take and they steal because they've watched the parent never work, right? So this child believes they're entitled to have without working because their mother had a home, had food. The single parent had food, had housing, had clothes without working. So it creates an entitled child, right? And this entitled child goes out and carjacks, goes out and steals, goes out and commits crime. And then the liberals say, listen to what he said. The liberals said they don't blame the child, they blame society. Oh, okay. It's not it's not the single parent's fault. It's the society's fault. It's not the child's fault. It's the society. Oh, so it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault while your teenage son is running around carjacking, committing crime. It's Trump's fault. It's the environment. It's Trump. It's the environment. It's society. Is it societal? Is it? Bear man prophecy. I had a single parent. My dad died at work. You'd rather me go hungry when I was 5. I'm not entitled now. I'm grateful and I work harder than you. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? What are you smoking, Bear man? What are you smoking? No, that don't make sense. They want so bad to troll. They don't even know how to troll. This is how the Democrats win, because they create these people that have illogical, nonsensical, without vocabulary, incoherent, they don't know. That makes it get funky. When I add a subject and a predicate, add it on a dope beat, it'll make you think. Some suckers just tickle me pink until my stomach. Because they can't funk like this one. I might write one of this, write one of this one. But they can't do this. I get straight meditate like a Buddhist, even if yellow, next to acapella. I said express, I don't smoke weed or sex, cause it's known to give a brother brain damage. And brain damage on the mic don't manage nothing but making the sucker and you equal. Don't be another sequel. Express yourself. Dre said it gets funky. When I add a subject and a predicate, add it to a dope beat, See, they're incoherent. They don't have the ability to string together a sentence. They don't know what a subject and a predicate is. As I get excited and I go into this, they're at home right now. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he yelling at the screen? He's sweating and spitting. They don't understand why I love that bar. When you add a subject and a predicate, that's what I grew up. That's the hip hop I know. That's the hip hop I know. He said, because Dre said it gets funky. When you add a subject and a predicate. And so you come up with an incoherent message in the chat, like, and you want me to be mad. That's not a troll to someone like me who understands a subject and predicate. That's a dope beat. Oh, thank you. I needed that. Oh man. Thank you so much. I needed that. Oh man, these guys, you can't make it up, man. You can't make it up, man. I mean, come on, man. We got gangs of kids running around DC. We got big balls. You know, when you ask, why did big balls need to save that young lady from being carjacked? And now you have more help. You needed more boots on the ground. There should have been an officer there instead of big balls. If we had the support that we have now, big balls wouldn't have had to do a job of a police officer. That's what today is about. A young man, thank God. Can we say a prayer? Can we say thank God for big balls? Prayer goes out to him. Get well soon. Prayer to you and your family. Your parents raised a good young man. It's so many compliments this morning we should be giving out to that young man and his parents. To your parents, great job raising a great young man. I apologize that you had to go through what you're going through. I pray for you and your family. Quick recovery for your son. Thank you for you and to that young lady who was getting carjacked. I know you right now are thanking the fact that he had great parents who raised him and that he was there to intercede, because who knows what could have happened to that young girl. We don't know if they would have kidnapped her or what could have happened to her. But thank God that he was there to stop that carjacking, and we want him to get healthy. We want him to get healthy better soon. So, and to the young lady, she's going to be traumatized. This is going to be a traumatic event. Anybody who's gone through this level of violence understands how this changes you for the rest of your life. She's going to need therapy. Big Ball's going to need therapy. You would think the Democrats would talk about this. You think the Democrats would care about these kids, because both of these are very young people. See, today they want you to be mad. The Democrats rule by fear. Today they want you to be mad. They want you to be angry at Trump. They want you to be mad and be angry at Trump because the Democrats rule by fear, but they don't want to talk about what really happened, what's happening on the ground. These laws I've told you today about the marijuana, the laws I told you today about the point system, the laws I told you today that made someone like a Doge employee have to save a young lady. There is policy behind what's going on today. There is liberal Democratic policy. Why you need to know about it? Because that same policy was proliferated across the nation after BLM riots. You need to know about DC. That's why I played that expose, because that expose linked DC to St. Louis. And what you need to know is DC is not the only city that may be looking at, wait a minute, we just had LA. So now DC is the second city. If we're being honest, some people want to be mad. I'm not mad. I want to make America great again. I say clean up LA. I say get the bad people out of LA. I don't want cartels in America. Who wants a cartel? Go back to wherever you're from. I want the cartels out of America. So look, the Democrats are not even being honest, because if they be honest, think about this. You would think the Democrats would be like, oh, he did it in LA. He's doing it in DC. Be scared. Why aren't the Democrats saying that? Why is it me? Think about it. Why am I the first one to say DC is the second city? Why haven't you heard that on the news? DC is the second city. They don't want you to know that Trump is about business. Shh. They don't want you to know that Trump is about taking care of crime. Shh. They want you to think Trump is a bad guy. But because they don't want you to know that Trump is cleaning up America city by city. They don't want to focus on that. So they're going to just focus on DC today. But wait a minute. Didn't Trump just do this in LA? Didn't Trump just do this in LA? So I say to you, what's next? I say St. Louis may be the next city. Predicting from that expose in this podcast this morning. Now, wait a minute. If you're a member here, you've seen us make predictions before. We've been pretty good on our predictions as far as the Black Book with Epstein, the Nothing Burger, the sandbagging. We've been predicting a lot of good stuff here on this channel. So I am saying to you that DC is not the first city, and DC will not be the last city that you see Trump do this. Remember where you heard it first. On the Perfect Timing podcast, top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective, DC is not going to be the last city. And it's not because Trump is a king. It's because of the expose I just played to you and what's happening in single-parent home Democratic ran cities. In single-parent home Democratic ran cities, the teenagers are what they call on the internet now, YNs, are running crazy. Just running crazy. And they have to deal with a defund the police ideology and an over uptick of crime. Well, you have less police. You have less police on the streets. I live in Northern California. I can tell you that the Oakland mayor, recent Oakland mayor was a white woman. I did my research. Oakland mayor was dealing with, again, 13, 14, 15-year-olds being murdered in Oakland. She cried out for help. I need help. I need help stopping the murder of these teenage kids. This is just in the last, and this is not 10. I'm talking about in 2024, 2023, we had an uptick of murders in Oakland. You heard about Stockton. You heard about Oakland. These are teenagers being murdered, 15, under 18, uptick of violence. The mayor of Oakland said, we need help. So I did my research. How many police are in Oakland compared to the actual population? And what I found is terrifying. That at most nights, you have 200 to 300 people on the streets of Oakland, but only 1,000 police officers. So what you have in policing in 2024 and 2025, and I know you noticed it, in these cities, the police don't stop. When I was a kid, the police would stop. The police would pull over people and you would see people pulled over. That would make people drive differently, put on your seatbelt. But when you only have 700 police officers and 200,000 people on the street partying and drinking, the police have to maintain a presence. The way they maintain a presence is they can't pull people over. They have to stay driving so that the people see police out and it gives the image, the appearance that you're safe, that there are enough police, but there are not enough police to police everybody in the city. We don't have enough police to police everybody in the city. The mayor came out and asked for help. So you have Democratic policies on top of defund the police and not having enough boots on the ground. So now lawlessness has run rampant and there's nothing that these Democratic cities can do about it because they don't have enough police officers. Because remember, defund the police. Now, why am I the only one talking about this? Why am I the only one talking about defund the police and the results of defund the police? Why is everyone else only want you to be mad at Trump? Because if you did not defund the police, you would not need National Guard in DC, LA, St. Louis, Memphis, Chicago, Milwaukee. If you did not defund the police, can we have a real talk this morning? If you did not defund the police, you would not need the National Guard. If you did not create these liberal social policies that encourage single-parent homes, criminality, you would not need the National Guard. If you just took away these laws, these point systems that allow teenagers who carjack to get out of jail the next day. These democratic liberal ideologies in democratic cities that say it's not the criminal's fault, it's society's fault, and society is paying for it. Thank you, Phoenix. Detroit Coalition said, this is coonery. Are you from Detroit? Because Detroit went bankrupt under a Democrat. Are you from Detroit? Because Detroit and Flint went bankrupt under Democrats. Vallejo went bankrupt under Democrats. Dirty Democrats. Detroit went bankrupt under a dirty Democrat. Flint went bankrupt under dirty Democrats. Can we be honest? Democrats who stole from you. Democrats who stole from the people. Democrats that left the city high and dry. There weren't Republicans in Flint. There weren't Republicans in Detroit. You know how long Detroit has been under Democratic rule? Do you know how long Detroit has had Democratic leadership? Do you know how long Detroit has had Democratic? Can we be honest? I don't understand. Can we be honest? Can we talk about, I'm just going to ask Google because it's just too many idiots. How long has Detroit had Democratic Let's find out. I know the truth. Before Mayor Dugan's shift to independent, the last two mayors of Detroit, Kwame and Dave, were members of the Democratic Party. Before the Mayor Dugan's shift to independent, the last two mayors of Detroit, Kwame and Dave Beam, were mayors of the Democratic Party. Kwame Kilpatrick and Dave Beam were mayors of the Democratic Party. Dave served mayor 2009 and 2014. Kwame Patrick served prior to him. Therefore, the city of Detroit, Democratic mayors, sometime preceding the mayors, like 15 years, bro. 15 years. 2009. We talking how many years of Democratic leadership in some of these places to get to where Detroit is awesome now? Yeah, it says Mayor Dugan's shift to independent because people didn't trust the Democrats. Can we be honest? I don't want you to be mad. I want you to subscribe, become a member, hit the like button. I just want you to be honest here. Mayor Dugan had to become an independent because people didn't trust the Democrats. People don't trust the Democrats. I wonder why. Maybe because Detroit and Flint is broke and Kwame Kilpatrick was a dirtbag. Maybe because when the Democrats was running Detroit, they ran it into the ground. So Mayor Dugan has to fix Detroit, but he's not going to do it as a Democrat. He said, I'm going to do it as an independent because the Democrats have let us down. Man, I feel like we had a great show today. Fire show. Fire show. DC begs for help. No one being honest about DC begging for help. We show DC begging for help. We talk about the policies, and then we got blessed with a correlation between DC, St. Louis, and single-parent households. I educate you on the fact that we are not only seeing this in DC, but this is the second city, in that we also already saw this in LA, and I believe DC is not the last city. I honestly believe DC is not the last city, and it shouldn't be. And I want to say thank you to Trump because he's doing it. Thank you to Trump. For getting it done. I think, man, look at everybody coming in, man. Thank y'all for coming in, man. Y'all make me feel good, man. Hit the like button as y'all come in, man. How I look this morning. Everybody was like Nirvana. Everybody liked my Nirvana shirt today. Everybody was like, name a Nirvana song. I want to say salute to everybody, man. Thank y'all for coming in, man. 163 likes. Cash App, man. $ Big D Rants, man. Everybody that subscribed, go ahead and hit the notification bell. You want to make sure it's well. Trump pardoned the dirtbag Kwame. He did. He did. He did. He did. Oh, man, he did, boy. He did. What can you say? He did. Oh, he did. Oh, he did, boy. He did. He did. I don't know. Ozzy Crosby in the building. Shout out to Ozzy, one of my members in the building, man. Show him some of them emojis, man. Shout out to all my new members. We got 5 members, man. Thank you to everybody with the members, man. Join the channel right now for $2, $2 holla, man. And you can get customized emojis right now, man. Join the channel, like, share, subscribe, man. Look at Ozzy. Shout out to you, baby. Ozzy, baby. Shout out to all the members of the channel, man. Everybody who hit the super chat today, everybody who subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell. Simon. Y'all remember that cartoon of Simon when we was kids? What was a cartoon, Simon? What was a cartoon? Hold on, man. Simon cartoon. Hold on. Y'all remember that Simon cartoon when we was kids? Simon acted up in the chat, boy. No, not this one. Not this one. I want a different one. This how old I am. This how old I am. A rabbit. This is not the one. I think it was a chalk, right? Was it chalk? Oh, man. A rabbit came up. That ain't the one. This is the one. I'm so old. I'm so old. So first I put in Simon cartoon and the rabbit. I know who. So the rabbit is from my kids. I don't know the rabbit Simon. So the Simon I'm talking about is the chalk drawing Simon right here. That's the Simon I'm talking about. That's the one I grew up with. But man, this is from, I don't know, 1969. Simon in 1969. God dog, man. Oh, why did I even bring that up? That's so bad. That's so bad. I'm so old. They have recreated Simon.
Well, you know my name is Simon, the things I do come true. Oh, witches take me over, climb the ladder with you.
That's the Simon, man. That's my name is Simon, and the things I draw come true. They use that in rap songs and everything. So I was thinking about that, but I'm old. Oh my God. Wow, 1969. I never knew it was that old. I love that show. It's in black and white. Oh man, I love that show when I was a kid. That song, I mean, it's like a generation. Our generation, that song, well, I think mine, that you hear that cadence can be found in a lot of hip hop. Though that beat can be found in a lot of hip hop because played a big body beat. Oh, I don't even know the big body beat. But yeah, that's Simon. That's Simon, man. Sir, do you have real human friends? I know. No, I don't. I don't. These are my friends. These are my friends. I don't. Does it look like I have fucking friends, bro? Look at this room. Does it look like it? Look at this room. Look at this shirt. Nirvana. Look at my hand. No, I don't have friends. Who gonna be my friend? Who gonna talk about Trump with me? I'm going to the black barbershop. And I'm going to talk to everybody at the black barbershop about Trump being great. No, I have no friends. There's no MAGA. No. Ozzy, shout out to Ozzy. Ozzy, there go my friend. You guys are my friends, man. Ozzy is a member of the channel, a friend indeed. Thank you for joining the channel. People like that, man, are my friends, man. Join the channel, support the channel, become a member, you know, Cash App, Super Chat, like, share, subscribe. You know, those are the people. You know, I was watching Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I was watching Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad said, and then I heard Fat Joe say this, Rich Dad, Poor Dad said, I don't have any friends that didn't start from a healthy business relationship. All of my friends, he said he came to a point in my life where I did not know how to value friendship. This is a very important lesson as to friendship, because I grew up in a single parent home and I used to overemphasize friendship. So he said, in business, I stopped having friends. And what I created going forward is I'm no longer gonna build or curate friendships with people unless it first starts from a mutually beneficial business relationship, i.e., me and you come together to create business and it's profitable for my family and it's profitable for your family. And we can do that again and again. If I find someone who is honest with me in business, that we can come together, because business is about a consortium. When you have a good business, it's about a group of individuals like-minded working together, and that's how you succeed in business, right? Shout out to the hoster, the holster, man, the holster. I appreciate your live today. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. So in business, you come together for a greater good. I forgot my chain of thought. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I hope you join the channel. It's $2 to join the channel. You can become a member of the channel like Ozzy. And Milana Peter said hi. That's a beautiful picture. I'll be out with some beautiful women. Come in here. Look at that. Look at that picture of that girl. Can I go to her channel? Can we go to her channel? How do we go to her? Man, I don't even know how to go to people's channel. But shout out to you, Melania. Hi. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's happening, baby? Brian Hayes said, new age of panhandling. Man, Brian, you wait to the end of the show to come in with the player hater. Shout out to Brian, the player haters, man. You know they redid a Dave Chappelle player hater skit. They did a player hater skit. They did a remake of the player hater skit. So shout out to you, man, for coming in with the player hating at the end, man. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. True player for the Himalayas, man. Player hater, man. Yeah, man. So I just want to say shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. Don't hate on the player, 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 man. You understand?
HBO, the greatest network of our time, has brought you compelling documentaries about pimps, hoes, players, johns, tricks, marks, mark-ass tricks, trick-ass marks, skeezers, skanks, skig-skags, and scallywops.
You vacuum that coat, man.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. Buck Lancer, what can I say about that suit that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan? It looks bombed out and depleted.
Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy, man. Player haters of the century, man. Buck Nasty, baby. Player haters of the century, baby. You know what I'm saying? The player no one wants to be, man. Wayne Shaw. Wayne. Now they getting it. Wayne, I didn't know you had that much in you, Wayne. Come on, Wayne. Come on with it, Wayne. Come on, Wayne. Hit the super chat. I know you got some money on your debit card. Go ahead and hit the super chat. Oh, y'all hilarious, man. Wait, at Detroit Coalition. So you getting props, Wayne? You getting props? Oh, shit. I love it, man. Go ahead and hit the super chat, man. Hey, you guys, we have a good time here. Every day, well, not every day, but every day the channel goes up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll be live at 11 a.m. All the new people who subscribe today, tomorrow I'll be live at 11 a.m. Top of the mid-morning podcast, Trump news. You know, it's what it really is a conservative, independent media channel. And the thing I love most about Trump is the MAGA ideology. And my goal of the channel is to really be honest about the vernacular of what MAGA truly means. And MAGA means make the house great again. Everybody in the house. America is a house. We all live in this house called America. Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Independents, black, white, purple, green, and brown. We all live in the same house. So make America great again emphasizes the ideology that we need to make the house great, the family great. We are all Americans. We are part of the American family. The Democrats, I really have a problem when the Democrats try to separate us, right? And say that we are black and we are white and we are Republican and we are left and right. We're an American family, and this is not a lie. You can't run from this. We're all Americans. We all live in this American house. The goal of MAGA is for you to understand that the goal is to make the house great for everyone who lives in the house. That's why I'm here. Now, you know, I am conservative based. I am from a Trump perspective, but I hope you understand the goal is not to say Trump is king, Trump is right. The goal is for the house. The goal is to make America great again. And I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to the holster for your super chat. Thank you to Ozzy for your membership. Thank you to my other brother for the super chat. I got a couple super chats today. It's difficult to go back through at the end of the show, but that's why I make sure to say thank you when the super chats come in. Thank you to the super chats. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, liked. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we go live at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, Pacific Standard Time, on the Pacific to be specific. Thank you, everyone. Again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, super chat, Cash App, $ Big D Rants. Man, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning with more Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues.